ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the ring area at 225 pounds from Cincinnati, Ohio, it's Flyin Brian. And his opponent already in the ring from the state of Indiana at 227 pounds, this is Rip Rogers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, with Super Brawl 2 exclusively on pay-per-view, only 1 week away. And Flyin Brian obviously has one thing on his mind, Mr. Taylor, and that is to regain the WCW Light Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, you see, he brings a guy in here about Liger's size. Rip Rogers, a lot of people don't know it, is very adept at high-flying maneuvers, and I think Brian Pillman is just starting to get himself peaked about the right time for this match coming up.
Last week we saw Flyin Brian. Wow, what a chop there by Rogers.
Rogers is about to get a wake-up call, I think.
Wow, what impact those chops by Flyin Brian. We saw him last week, Terrence, use a ground attack very successfully in racking up a victory. And apparently that may be his game plan and strategy as he prepares to meet Jushin Liger in 1 week.
Yeah, he's got himself together because you know that Liger's the best flyer there is, and you can't match up with him flying for flying if there's such a thing. If he can get him down and get him tired, Liger's not going to be flying around. I think Flyin Brian's got a better chance.
Rogers on the break, got the forearm in on Pillman, and now uses the shoulder block.
Jim, I got to say that, you know, there's a lot of guys that would probably be easier than Rip Rogers at this point, taking for a match of this, you know, magnitude.
Well, you know, there's a lot of philosophies in preparing for a big matchup. Sting's philosophy is to fight him every night in a war, and he's doing that with a dangerous alliance. And Luger's philosophy, on the other hand, is a complete opposite of that, as he is not wrestling, but training, I understand, twice a day. Heavy workout. So I don't know which is the better training method. We'll find out next Saturday night.
Whoa, look at this move. If this Pillman's not the best I've ever seen of his career, I don't know what's going on. This guy is to the air. He's doing well. His ground attack's good. His intensity is there. I think Jushin Thunder Liger's going to be in for a long night next week.
Maybe you should try to recruit Flyin Brian like you and Greg Valentine did Bagwell here last week.
I gave Bagwell an opportunity, and nobody turns their back on me on any situation.
It's a free country, you know. The guy has a right to say no.
Wow, look at this move. Yeah, and he got the ramifications too, didn't he?
Flyin Brian. Good move.
Beautiful adjustment.
Sunset flip off the top and a near fall.
Rip Rogers thought he was going to come off with that flying clothesline. He ducked it. And Flyin Brian adjusted and came off with a sunset flip. Very smart wrestling.
Fans, we're going to see the new U.S. Tag Team Champions, Ron Simmons and Big Josh, in the broadcast. Abdul the Butcher is here.
There's 3 brain surgeons for you.
We'll also take a more in-depth look at this Terrence Taylor, Marcus Bagwell situation.
Trying for a German suplex there. Blocked again. Another reversal. Good chain wrestling.
Rogers maneuvered Flyin Brian to the outside there, and the veteran from Seymour, Indiana, rushed him, and he got cross-bodied, a near fall.
Whoa, see, Brian, a little lapse of concentration there, and either Rogers is tired or something, because he had that arm way back there.
Flyin Brian now using a ground attack, and we talked about various modes of attack that he may utilize next week, and right now I think he's not worried about his offense, but perhaps his defense here.
This is the biggest part of wrestling people don't realize, is you have to be in shape and be able to take a beating. Anybody can dish it out. This is where you separate your champions from your contenders.
Lateral press and a near fall. Flyin Brian able to kick out at 2.
Rogers better quit worrying about the people and keep his eye on Flyin Brian.
Coming with those chops, and Rogers' chest getting very reddened.
Yeah, Flyin Brian scissor hands.
Snapmare takeover. Rogers in control. Another lateral press. Didn't hook the leg. Could have been the difference.
Might have been. They're getting a little sloppy here. I think getting a little tired. That Liger's not going to get tired. You got to know, with the technology from Japan, he's scouting this match, and he'll know what's going on here.
Scoop slam now, and it will be Rogers taking a chance. And he's drop kick. What a move. Flyin Brian with a drop kick, taking Rogers from the top turnbuckle all the way down. Keep your eye on Flyin Brian. Here he comes. Both feet right to the chest of Rogers.
You can't breathe, and a guy buries both feet in your chest like that, you really can't breathe.
Head and shoulder fake, boy, in essence.
Tremendous athlete. Boy, he just collapsed him like an accordion.
Flyin Brian taking a lot of chances. And one would think he might be more conservative. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. What a chop. But he's not being conservative. He's
wide open.
Wide open right here is right. Cross body with a tremendous amount of elevation.
Very impressive.
The winner of the match, Flyin Brian.
Fans, we'll be going to our top 10 in a few moments. But Terrence, this was an outstanding contest.
Yeah, when he gets up to that top rope and leaps off, you're 225 pounds flush on a tired Rip Rogers, and that's going to be the result every time.
Fans, when we come back, we'll hear from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. We'll see the new U.S. Tag Team Champions, but now, the top 10.